Today we are fixing one of the biggest problems I ran into when rewiring this entire car for the LS swap. Let's get into it.
All right, now if you followed the build for a while, you will remember this right here. This is my Amazon brand switch panel, Aux Beam. Now, nothing against Aux Beam, the brand. It actually does what it's supposed to do. It does control the lights, a few other little accessories, but it doesn't have the power to actually control the car. And that was a big issue that Nate and I ran into when we finished up the wiring and went to start the car. We hit the button that we had programmed to actually run the starter, and it just clicked. And when it clicked, it killed power to the switch panel. And that's because the switch panel can't handle the power draw that the starter takes. Because we were in a rush to make it to hot pit, our battery cutoff effectively works as our key. If it's on, everything's on. If it's off, everything's off. And our little starter button here, it's literally just hooked straight to the starter. So for the past month or so, this has been the setup, and it does work. The problem is when I want to turn the engine off but leave the ECU on so that the fans will still run, or leave some other things on, or maybe I want to diagnose something and I need power, or like when we were tuning, I wanted to leave the ECU on but turn the engine off. There's no way of doing that. It's just the master kill switch kills everything. Now, this was never intended to be a long-term solution. It was literally just a quick band-aid so we can go racing. And we finally have enough time to dive into it and fix it the right way. Let me show you exactly how we're going to do that. To fix this problem, I have to give a massive shout out to Switch Pros. They've hopped on board and are partnering up with me to control all of the Z's electronics. The quality of this thing is crazy. Switch panel is super nice, all aluminum. It came with every possible label we could ever need, and this big guy controls it all. Of course, it came with all the wiring. Now all we have to do is tear out the cheap one and get the new one installed. All right, I've been working. We got the old Aux Beam control panel thing removed. The switch panel I had up on the roof removed. And if we take a look in the car, if you paid attention to my wiring video, you know this is kind of my control panel. So up under here is kind of where everything lives. That's kind of dark here, but this is the new Switch Pros like control thingy. So that is where the wiring harness and everything will plug into. That guy right there. And that's what's going to control the switch panel and effectively control everything that the switches do. I really need to do something with this mess of an interior. Which brings me to the next part of this project, and it's something I've been putting off, but we need to get a dash in here. The Switch Pro actual switch panel doesn't mount the same way that the other one does, so there's no real way for me to mount it up on the roof, which means I need to mount it where it would actually make more sense, on the dash or center console or something kind of in that area. So I figure if we're gonna do all that, might as well put a dash in here. I bought one a while ago. It's just kind of been sitting in the backyard, so I guess let's start working on that. I've been dreading it because it's gonna be a lot of work, but I think it'll be cool when it's actually done. This is a universal race dash from Jegs, basically your generic kind of hot rod dash. We're gonna try to fit that into the Z, and hopefully it looks okay. Step one, let's get some measurements because I can already tell this is way too wide to even fit in here. So we're gonna measure the width of the Z where the dash would go and compare that to what we've got. And I guess start cutting stuff up. Here are the dimensions on the dash that I ordered. So 60 inches wide, 12 1/8 deep, and 4 3/4 face height. That's like the actual size of the dash up and down. After a quick measurement, the Z is about 56 inches across. And that's with me measuring about 12 inches off the windshield because again, the depth of our new dash is about 12 inches. And 56 inches wide would put it like all the way up against the sheet metal side of the car, which I think would be a little too much. It would make the dash really hard to pull in and out. And ultimately I want this to be really serviceable. So let's cut it down a little bit more and then see how it fits. Skill saw with the metal blade made quick work of that. I ended up zipping off 2 1/4 inches from each side, just 4 1/2 inches total. Quick test fit, and it fits good between the sheet metal of the car, but we have a roll cage. And it's not that I didn't account for that, it's that I want to make this dash fit as nice as possible. which means cutting the least amount as possible. So now we're gonna measure off the sheet metal how far the roll cage needs to go, and then how deep that cut needs to go, so we can do like a nice radius cut kind of right around here, maybe something like this, so that it will fit the cage in here, but we're still gonna leave the front part of the dash uncut, because this should go all the way out to the sheet metal and kind of like hide the roll cage almost. At least that's the idea. All right, do you see the vision? Nice little radius cut there. That should fit with the roll cage like right in here. We won't really care about this gap, and then the front will look nice and uncut. So I still need to figure out how I'm gonna mount it, but I think it looks pretty cool. Fits in there nice. It follows the window really well. So I didn't trim any of that. I just trimmed around there. You can see it fits pretty good on the cage. It's pretty good here. This is what I had trouble measuring. You can see there's this piece of sheet metal and then this one on the inside that has like a weird shape to it. So I ended up cutting a little bit more just to get it to fit, but pretty happy with that. We'll rig up some mounting solutions, and then we can actually get back to what this video is about, which is the switch panel. Go ahead. From the phone?
That's fancy.
Crazy. Okay, go ahead. Nate came by and we installed the Switch Pros SP9100 switch panel, and I am so stoked on this thing. The quality is crazy. The difference from the Amazon one I had and the Switch Pros one is seriously crazy. Like, all the wiring that they provide with the kit, A, is everything you need to install it, but B, the quality is so above what I had before. It's like genuine mil-spec level wiring, and the install was super quick, super easy. It did help that we made this whole harness, right? Nate labeled everything when we first did the chassis harness, so it was pretty straightforward, kind of just swapping out what we had for what we've got now. But I am really stoked on this product. Again, a huge thanks to Switch Pros for jumping on board. This definitely won't be the only car we use their products in, because I am blown away with how nice it is. Now, pull the dash back out. I still haven't made mounts for that. I'll have to work on that tomorrow, but we got the wiring all done and everything's pretty tidy. So these are our extra leads for the Switch Pros control panel that I showed you guys was mounted up there. So we have a lot more accessories we can run. And then we've got our ECU, so basically main power to the car, our headlights, and then this will be our starter. And we ran a flying lead for underglow, because what drift car doesn't have underglow, right? So this keypad will eventually get mounted on the dash once I get that permanently mounted in the car. But again, this thing is so nice. And it's not just this that's nice. Like I said, the quality of all the wiring, all the connectors, everything is just super nice. And it's not just that. They have an app you download on your phone, Switch Pros app. And from there, you can program everything on the key panel. So you can change whether you need an on-off switch or a momentary switch where it only works when you hold it. You can change which switch does what output, and there's so much you can do, and it's all from the app, right? The old one you had to like press and hold, count for a certain amount of time, wonder if it actually worked. It's very basic. This is way more advanced. The cool thing about the app too is you can control the whole thing from your phone. So once you have it all programmed and set up, I can just open my phone and literally turn the ECU on, or start the car, or turn the underglow on from my phone. And that's sick. I mean, essentially I have remote start on my phone to my drift car. Like, what the heck? Obviously, I haven't taken the wrap off the dash yet, but mounted the switch panel. Looks super cool, perfectly in reach of me when I'm sitting in the driver's seat. And we have this cool little finishing plate here. See the logo and everything on there? That's sick. Let's pop this guy on. Real simple mounting solution here. Just welded a little tab off the sheet metal here, and then fancy little Allen bolt, and now we've got a mounted dash. At least here, I haven't done the other side yet. And I think I gotta do something up top, because it's in there, it's sitting on the factory like dash little tray in the way back, or way forward. but it does make some noise because there's nothing holding it down. So maybe 1 or 2 tabs up there, bolt the top down, and then I'm just gonna do one of these on each side, but I think that looks cool. All right, I still got a couple loose ends to tidy up just with some wire management and making things look a little nicer. But the dash is in, and I am super hyped with not only the dash, but the Switch Pros. The whole unit is so sick, and it really just kind of simplified the way things work. They'll work way better now, and it's all just controlled by one little thing. So I am super happy. Again, a huge thanks to Switch Pros. Like I said, this is not the only car I'm going to use their products on because I am just stoked on it now. But take a look. I'm really happy with the way this dash came out too, especially considering it's just a universal hot rod or race car dash you could find on Jegs or Summit. But definitely cleaned up the interior. It doesn't look so unfinished now. Tell me what you think. I do still need to mount my Holley digital dash. It'll just get kind of put right in the center there. But like I said, I am stoked on how this turned out. Looks really cool, and it's kind of unique. Hopefully this opened your eyes to a new option you have if you don't want to run a factory dash in your race car, because I know I don't like the stock Z dash. That was kind of the whole reason I never put it back in. Just a few too many pieces. It doesn't really hold itself together well, at least after the car's caged and everything, and wasn't a fan. This is way lighter, way simpler. It's a whole lot easier to pull in and out, and it looks cool. I'll be honest, if money wasn't a thing, I would have spent like $2 grand on a really cool carbon dash, but money is a thing. So this is a way cheaper alternative. Doesn't really weigh a whole lot more, and I think it still looks cool. So we're gonna end the video there. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Promise we're gonna get back to Miata content. I am trying to get that car out on track somewhere soon, at least before we get back into the racing season, because we are only about a month away from the next round of Hot Pit. And you guys know how that goes. It gets busy. And before Hot Pit, I have a huge trip coming up. We are going international, but more on that later. So make sure you're subscribed because stuff is about to get even cooler. But until then, catch you in the next one.